Alright, so first things first, what exactly is an e-commerce business for anyone that's new to this term and has never heard it before? So in my opinion, I would say that an e-commerce business is simply an online store where you're going to be selling physical products to people through the internet. And there's so many different ways that you can do it, and there's so many different ways that you can structure it, but I'm going to go through the basics in today's video. So one of the first things that you need to be aware of is which platform should you use when it comes to actually being able to showcase your products to any potential customer. And the three main platforms that I always recommend people to go with is either Amazon, eBay, or Shopify. And I'm sure that most of you that are watching this video have probably heard of these three different names before. But for anyone that doesn't really know exactly how they work, Amazon and eBay are both marketplaces, which means that people like you and me can sign up to any one of these two platforms, list our products on there, and be able to benefit from all of the different visitors and traffic that they're getting on a daily basis. However, Shopify is a platform that allows you to create your own e-commerce website. So you're going to get your own domain, which is www. followed by your company name.com. And then from there, customers can now buy directly from your website. However, when it comes to customers buying from you on these two platforms, they're going to have to go directly to Amazon or eBay and then type in the name of the product that they want. And if you're selling that product, there's a chance that they may come across your listing. However, there's some different pros and different cons that you need to be aware of depending on which platform that you decide to go with. So let's start off with Amazon. One of the first cons is that they have really strict rules and different policies in place. So over my many years of selling on Amazon, one thing that I can definitely say that I don't like about it is all of the different rules that they have and that you have to follow. And if you don't follow them, you're going to get penalized. And there's times where they've closed down my Amazon store for a month, 2 months, and it could be for anything small or it could be for anything big. But that's definitely one of the biggest headaches that I've faced anyway when it comes to selling on Amazon. However, one of the biggest pros is that you do have the option to use the Amazon FBA service. And if you don't know what FBA is, it's simply where you're going to be able to ship your inventory to an Amazon warehouse so that whenever you make a sale, Amazon are going to pack and pick and ship out the order to your customer. And if you get any returns, they're also going to be able to handle that as well. Now, of course, there is going to be some sort of cost with that, but that's definitely one of the biggest pros of selling on Amazon. Moving on to eBay now, one of the biggest cons is that you have no ownership of your customers. And this is also the same thing with eBay in my opinion, which is where you're not going to be able to have access to your customers' emails, which means that it's going to be a little bit hard for you to grow your business in the way that you want to. Because if someone wants to buy from you, you should be able to send them an email, send them a coupon, say thank you to them, but you don't have any ownership of your customers, which in some way can translate to you having no ownership over the business that you're building on either eBay or Amazon. However, one of the pros is that listing products is very simple. It probably takes around 5 or 10 minutes for you to fully list a product on eBay. If you've done everything right, you're going to be able to sit back, relax, and wait for the sales to start coming in. So moving on to Shopify, one of the biggest cons is that you will have to get traffic directed to your store. You're not going to be able to benefit from the fact that eBay or Amazon are getting millions of people going onto these websites on a daily basis. Once you build your website using Shopify, it's going to be your responsibility to make customers even aware that your business even exists. And sometimes this can come at a cost when it comes to using various different paid ads, etc. But that's definitely one of the biggest cons of starting your own website. But one of the main pros is that you're going to have direct access to your customers' information, for example, their email address. So as I already said earlier, when it comes to using a third-party marketplace like eBay or Amazon, they restrict you from viewing any sensitive information about your customer because, of course, they don't want you to communicate with your customer outside the platform. However, when you build your e-commerce business using Shopify, there's not going to be any weird rules and regulations in place that you have to follow. You're essentially going to build your business in the way that you want, how you want. So the question now is, which platform should you sell on if you're a complete beginner? Well, it all depends on what you want out of your business. I can't really answer that. The way that I was able to do it was by initially starting off on eBay, and then I was able to build up my sales to around $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per month. And then from there, I now branched over to Shopify and Amazon, and then I was selling on all three different platforms. So the best advice I can give to you is pick whichever platform that you feel like you're comfortable with. But initially, the key is to make sure that you have laser focus on one platform so that you can master that before you move on to the next. So moving on to the next thing that I wish someone told me at the start of my journey, because it would have saved me so much time, energy, and money, which is that when it comes to you deciding on what product to sell, don't try and sell an item that no one else has ever seen before because you're trying to be the first one to sell it. What you should be doing is trying to sell a bunch of different products that another e-commerce seller is currently having success with, and then essentially replicate their entire store. And I'm not saying that you need to copy their store exactly, but what I am saying is that if you're able to see exactly how much money a particular seller is making every single month, and you're also able to see exactly which one of those items are bringing in the most money, then it only makes sense for you to try and source those items and sell it yourself. So just to give an example of what I'm talking about, I've just jumped onto eBay and I want to show you guys this seller right here, and they basically sell various different bicycle accessories, and as we can see right there, they've sold over 1.1 million different items. Now if I was personally looking to start a brand new store selling bicycle equipment just like them, this may be the store that I might want to replicate. And the way that I'm going to figure out exactly which one of these items are bringing in the most money for them is by using a product research tool called Zik Analytics. And I've just typed in their username right there, and as we can see in the last 30 days, they was able to bring in almost $1 $100,000. They were able to sell over 6,000 different units, and I can also see that they've got around 900 different active listings, and out of those listings, around 652 were successful. And the beauty of using something like Zik Analytics is that if we scroll down over here, they're going to be able to show us the top performing items in their store in the last 30 days in terms of which one brought in the most sales. So again, I'm just using this store as an example. I've got no interest in setting up a bicycle store, but the reason why I did choose them as an example is because they've also got their own website as well that they're selling the exact same products on. So not only are they bringing in 6 figures on their eBay store, but they're potentially also bringing in a decent amount every single month from their website. Now moving on to one of the next things that I was personally confused about when I started my first ever e-commerce store many years ago is, should I dropship the products or should I import the stock in bulk from China and ship it out myself one by one? And I'm sure right now you're probably asking yourself the same thing as well. Now it's very hard to decide on which option you should go with because again, it all depends on your own personal situation. But I've broken down one pro, one con for each different option, dropshipping and importing stock. And for those of you that don't really know exactly what the differences are between these two different options, well, dropshipping is simply where your supplier is going to be responsible for picking, packing and shipping the order out to your customer. So you're never going to have to see the product or handle the product. It's going to get shipped directly to your customer whenever you make a sale. However, when you buy stock in bulk, the way that works is that you're going to find a supplier. Most of the time they're based in China, and you're going to import the stock in bulk to your house or your office space, and it's going to be your responsibility to pick, pack and ship out the order every single day. But as I already said, I'm going to go through one main pro and one main con with each different option. So one of the main pros to dropshipping is that there's no upfront investment. So dropshipping is probably one of the easiest business models to start because you're not going to have to pay any money to get things going. Now, of course, you may have to pay $100, $200 for you to set things up, but you're only realistically going to have to pay for the product whenever you make a sale. So you're going to take your customer's money, buy the product, which means that there's no big, large upfront investment. However, one of the main cons is that you're going to have to deal with longer delivery times. Because you're leaving the fulfillment up to someone else, that means that you're not going to be able to determine whether they've shipped out the item or not. And in some cases, they may take long to ship it out. And most of the time, because you're going to be drop shipping it from places like China, it's going to take a lot longer than if you was to ship it out yourself from your own country to customers within your own country. Which now brings me on to one of the main pros of buying stock in bulk, which is that you're going to be able to take a lot more control over your business. Not only are you going to be able to ship out the orders on time every time and offer fast delivery, but you're going to be able to customize your orders. You're going to be able to put what you want inside each and every order, for example, coupons, discounts, etc. And you're also going to be able to make sure that the right item has been sent out, because one thing when it comes to leaving the fulfillment up to someone else, they may send out the wrong item or they can send out an empty box by mistake. So many things can go wrong when you're leaving the delivery side of things to someone else. And one of the main cons to buying products in bulk is that it's a little bit harder for you to pivot your business to sell different products. If you believe that you found the winning product and you're happy with it, you know that you're going to be able to sell them over the next couple months, and you import them from China, but then something happens where you decide that you want to change your business model to a completely different category, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to quickly pivot. If you've bought a bunch of stock, you're going to have a certain level of commitment to that business. So in terms of which one you should go with, again, it all depends on what you want to do, depends on what you have planned for your business. I don't think any one of these options is a bad option because I've done both of them. I was able to make 6 figures in profit when it comes to buying stock in bulk, and I was also able to make 6 figures in profit when it came to building up a dropshipping business. So it all depends on what budget you have, what you want to do, and how you want to do it. But of course, there's so much more that goes into starting an e-commerce business. I just wanted to give you guys the basic things that I wish I was aware of when I first started, because it would have sped up the entire process when it came to me reaching the goal of making my first £500,000 in revenue, so on and so forth. But if you want to watch a completely free webinar where I break down exactly how I was able to get to $3,000 per day with my e-commerce business, then you can watch that free webinar by clicking the first link in the description down below. Or if you rather watch another YouTube video that I made not too long ago where I break down some other tips that will definitely help you out on your e-commerce journey, then make sure you click the link right there. Check that video out straight after this one because it's already helped out so many people, and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.